Ugh, fuck it, I'll not bother. Yeah, go for it. Sorry,
Well. Good evening, John.
Good evening. I was sleeping. I need to edit that. I slept out
Yeah,
a naughty word
you
there.
were sleeping on the job there, weren't you?
Yeah, bloody hell. There you
Oh, a
go.
little bit tired, are we?
No, I thought I was all right. I had a good sleep last night, actually.
Well, I was going to ask how you are. So, you good? You good? You well?
Yes, I'm well. I'm very well. I'm better than I'm as well as can be expected, shall we say?
Ah,
I've already
okay,
done
okay.
one show already tonight.
You said you recorded a podcast with Latimer Alder, have you not?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
What are you calling this one?
The Trials and Tribulations of Net Zero.
Ooh, is that going to be available on all podcast platforms, wherever you get your platform?
It will be
Podcast?
by Friday, probably.
Will you put it on here in the podcast section?
Yeah.
There we go. Sweet as a nut, as they say, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know what else is sweet as a nut? This hat. I really like it. I think it's great quality.
Oh, good grief.
It cost me £1 in Asda.
Yeah, that's very
£1.
good. It's very good.
Yeah, I think it's lovely. It's gonna do
Are you quite
me.
loud, or is it just me? Does he sound
Well,
all right, people? Good
well,
evening,
nobody has said anything.
Right. This is we're gonna have to up our game again, aren't we? I'm gonna have to start doing more intriguing pre-rolls because they've sussed that they can jump in at the last minute. But they did miss that footage of Lola.
They did miss the footage of Lola, and isn't Lola a cutie? Isn't she just?
Isn't she just?
And I shall give you, before we enter into the show, I shall give you an update on my weight loss. I'm on day 17, and I have lost 13 pounds, John.
One more, and you've lost a stone. That's good.
Yeah.
That's very good, Ben. I think
I'm attempting. My goal is to get to 30 pounds lost by December 16th. My wife says I can do it. Another 17.
Okay, a month. That's maybe asking a lot, but you know, it's a lofty goal, but you might as well shoot for it.
Well, yeah, and I will say this as a disclaimer.
Yeah.
As a disclaimer, I am prone to falling off the wagon, shall we say? And that's not to do with alcohol. I don't drink. I really don't drink at all.
But well, you do. You just drink the wrong things.
Yeah, and that's what makes me a lard ass. Let's just say it as it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
no,
yeah,
that's not Christmas yet.
That's the goal. But if I get near it, I'll be happy.
Oh, bloody hell. Right, I don't have a lot in the list tonight.
Well, I think I want to do a deep dive into something anyway, so that's going to take some time.
Okay.
So, yeah, introduce the show to them.
Indeed. So, people off the interwebs, citizens of Veridora, you know who you are, and we do love you. Welcome to this, episode 267 of Chasing Dissent Live, with me, John, and with Ben.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave.
So, to address the chat there for the one time before the end of the show, no, Rob, I'm not fasting. I've just quit the 10 cans of Coca-Cola full sugar that I drank every day. It's as simple as that, really. And the weight falls off instead of piles on. I've never eaten bad. I've never, ever eaten bad. I don't even eat 3 meals a day. I eat 1 meal a day and I don't snack. It's always been the case. So it's that stuff. And it's a killer. It is a killer.
It's that stuff.
And it's that stuff that puts the weight on me. But when you're drinking 3 litres of it a day, think how much sugar that is going through my body.
Oh, it's shocking. Shocking, mate. Shocking. It's turning you into the state that you are.
the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters. Speaking of Ghostbusters, did you know, John, they released the trailer for the new movie today?
No, I did not. Have you seen it?
I have indeed. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, it is called. It looks all right. It looks all right.
Who's in
I'm
it?
not going to lie.
Who's in it?
Well, you got the same cast from Afterlife. So,
Cool.
what's his name? Paul Rudd and the girl and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But also, we do have at least cameos from the original cast members that are still alive. They're in the trailer.
Cool.
Bill Murray's in the trailer. Ernie Hudson's in the trailer. It looks okay, to be honest. CGI is a bit iffy, but it's not out till spring, so it might not be finished yet.
Yeah.
So quite often you get trailers with unfinished CGI.
Yeah, I remember when the first Hulk came out, that was in the unfinished CGI trailer. Remember the first time we saw the big green monster Hulk, when it was Jennifer Connelly and the guy out of Black Hawk Down.
Eric Bana.
Eric Bana, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Frankie, for saying I look in bad health. I appreciate it. I really do. But
he does go on to say, I've seen you looking worse.
Yeah, well, I've believe me when I tell you, I've felt a lot worse. Oh, not in bad health. There.
All right.
But I am, like I say, I am feeling better. And
me.
Rob Bruce asked you, are you on a diet, John? Looking like you've lost weight as well.
I haven't lost much, if I have lost any. I've not had a good couple of days. I've been very sneezy, wasn't I? I was sneezy on the last show. And then
You had the cough.
Yeah, I didn't really have a cold. But for some reason, I just seemed to be sneezy on the show. And then it stopped, and then I had a couple of bad nights because I had terrible indigestion. But I had a good night's sleep last night, so much better. No, I wouldn't do that kind of thing. Ridiculous statement to make, Harold.
They may be talking about Bill Murray there.
Oh, right, maybe. I don't know.
To the answer would be I don't know, and that's the correct answer because we shouldn't know.
Yeah.
We shouldn't know what anybody does for their medical choices. It's not our business. Okay. However, same rules apply as always. From now on, we will address the chat at the end of the show. We will just plow on with the show between now and the end. If you've got any questions or anything, save them for the end. And if you are gracious enough to make a donation via either Ko-fi, Patreon, or a super chat here on YouTube, then your comment or question will always be prioritized. So with that, like the stream, share the stream, let's get going. John, hit me with something.
Okay, I'm going to take us on a little journey of adventure as we go to Ukraine. Now, I know we haven't been there for a while, but we're going to Ukraine.
Not for a while.
Because last week, General... Oh, now I'm going to muddle the name, and I mean that in a figurative sense. But is General Zukade or something like that?
Okay.
Anyway, he was the kind of leader of Ukraine Armed Forces. He basically said to a magazine over there that it kind of reached a stalemate between Ukraine and Russia. And of course, Zelensky didn't take this very well, to say the least.
What does Zelensky take well?
So he didn't take this well. This isn't part of the narrative at all. So there was a bit of dissent in the ranks, right?
Right.
And then the general's aide was having his birthday party. I think he was a major or something. And he had presents delivered to him. And this one didn't come in a mail. It was hand delivered to the house. And it was shot glasses in the shape of hand grenades.
Oh.
Right? Now, it turned out one of them wasn't a shot glass.
Oh.
And he gave this shot glass to his son, who couldn't open it. And his son gave it back to him. He opened it, and it went bang, and he died. not the son, the major. So the aide was killed. Well, Shalini Varma, we will see you at the end. Anyway, so now it's almost certainly a message from his own government, I would say.
Well,
Now, that's just supposition, but I can't see the Russians going to those kind of lengths to strike at an aide for a guy who's basically said things aren't going great. So I can't see the Russians actually having any interest in this, but internally I think there has been, and it's not gone down well, and really, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there's much I can say to that. It's shocking, of course.
Mm-hmm, it is.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that this is where we are in the world. And I'm kind of glad that his son didn't get to open it.
I know. Just imagine that.
As horrible as that sounds, because ultimately somebody died.
Yeah. Yeah, but at least it wasn't his 13-year-old son.
At least he wasn't a child. Yeah,
exactly. So, so that's Ukraine. I think, we spoke about Ukraine briefly on Monday, and I think really it's not on centre stage anymore. Mr. Zelensky's feeling the pinch. He looks like he's cracking up. Olena.
I mean, didn't he call Vladimir Putin a fucking terrorist on American television?
He did, yes.
Yeah.
And well, yeah, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but you know what? There's other terrorists in the fight now, and I think that's the problem. That's getting much more attention from his former allies. And to be fair, Ukraine was given everything they asked for, and they haven't been able to do the job that they said they could.
Well, no, they haven't. And I hear, and I can't confirm, but I hear rumblings that countries like the USA are turning around to people like Zelensky and saying, maybe it's time to consider what you're willing to give up.
Well, yeah. I think those conversations are underway right now, and I think
they're almost definitely happening, aren't they?
Yeah, I think one of the big problems though is that the Americans. This is a really strange American government because they've been working on this for so long, and they've made such an arse of it that they're going to look stupid no matter how this one turns out. Because, I mean, they've not won.
No,
you can't say they have. And Putin's really basically sitting at the point where if they had signed that ceasefire agreement way back in March 2020, what 2021?
2021. Well, it could have been 22, I think.
22. If they'd signed that back in 22, then that would pretty much where we'd be right now. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so
there wouldn't be over 500,000 dead people.
Well, that's it. That's it exactly.
Totally unnecessary.
Yeah, it's been grotesque.
Well, it has been grotesque. It's grotesque that people go out and fight for the dick measuring contests of leaders, because that's ultimately what this all is, and what it always is dick measuring contests of leaders.
Well, yeah.
And
people
countries go out and they repeatedly fight for it.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, shall we move on? So what else shall we talk about? Let me see what I've got. One thing, and I maybe asked this before. In fact, maybe I could ask a little thing that I was thinking about doing. Maybe I could ask you guys what you think. The audience, that is. So, do you guys ever watch YouTube other than us? And that sounds incredibly vain, doesn't it? But you know what I mean? Do you ever watch stuff on YouTube from loads of other people? And do you watch people that have made videos? Not live stream, made videos, and thought there's no break in the speech. It's just one continual verbal stream.
John is really hung up on this lately, by the way.
I am
people.
hung up on this because
He's really hung up on this.
I find it really hard to listen to. It really pisses me off because there's no inflection. There's very little tone in it. You know, they just kind of. Someone has given us
from someone 5. From someone 5.
Thank you.
Thank you, someone. So
thank you, someone.
So there's this continual stream, this diatribe of verbal diarrhea that just keeps coming down at you with no break. And it's not like, I mean, when you and I speak right now, and this might even sound a bit like, I'm not, but I am. There's breaks in it, There's inflection.
But they do that via editing. That's not a natural way of talking.
No, I know it's not. I know. Unless your name's Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, and then you look at everything and you talk like this, and you say, "Look, all of the Jews in Israel
You're
are
not
never."
talking fast enough.
What do you mean? I'm not talking fast enough? I'm always talking fast enough. I'm Ben Shapiro, and I talk like this.
Yeah, so I just find it really annoying. I just find it annoying to listen to.
I'll tell you who I quite like watching, and I'm going to plug someone with 1 million+ subscribers. I like a guy called Bruce Rivers. He's a criminal lawyer, and his theme tune tells you that as well. And he
what does he talk about?
Well, he's a criminal lawyer who reacts to cases and videos and things that are ongoing at the moment in the way of law. And it's just interesting stuff, and it's interesting stuff to hear from his perspective.
Right, okay. So, and part of the next question then, if I'm on this little voyage of discovery, the next question is, what kind of content actually does float your boat? Because we talk about the news, but people are always saying, have you got cheery stuff, or have you got funnies and things like that?
Yeah.
So do you get enough doom and gloom elsewhere? Do you just want funnies? Do you just want to be removed from the everyday pastiche that grinds you down and gives you doom and gloom? Do you want something to uplift you, to soothe the soul, so to speak? Is that what you're looking for?
I do want to say thank you to Frankie.
Thank you, Frankie.
Thank you, Frankie. Well, meme the left cheers me up. Oh, I can meme the left all day long if you'd like. I mean, I am going ham on Owen Jones at the moment, aren't I?
Yeah.
But let's face it, I am the left, and that little bastard. And I'm sorry to use that. He's a little bastard. He tried to set his 1 million+ followers on me, didn't he?
Well, he did, yeah.
Tried to set his 1 million+ followers on me yesterday on Twitter. It hasn't gone so well for him at all, has it, John?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen much of it since.
Well, put it this way: about 96% of responses are having a go at him.
Oh yeah. I remember having to sit and listen to you reading me the tweets against him. Right. Anyway, so right, where shall we go? What? There's another thing. That intrigues me. This intrigues me. This is just completely random. Why do people type things, right, in a mixture of lower and upper case?
I am guilty of that sometimes.
What, deliberately?
No, not deliberately. You just find yourself doing it.
No, people do this. I'm sure people do this deliberately. They type things in a mixture of upper and lower case randomly, right?
No, I don't do that.
And I think, and I might be wrong, I think they think that means any algorithm won't be able to read it, which I think is complete and utter fucking nonsense.
Well, I agree with you, first of all. But second of all, I'm guilty of adding the occasional capital letter to words. That's what I do.
Right, that's different. This is where people put like lowercase capital, lowercase capital, lowercase capital, and they do the whole sentence like that. And then they'll talk normally in lowercase or with normal capitalization for the rest of the message. It's as if
Yeah.
they're trying to hide the message that they've just written. But you can't do it by using the same letters, whether they're capitalized or not.
No, I don't suggest that you can. I think you're absolutely right. I mean, Tony Garrett in the chat, and I'm sorry for responding to the chat, John, but he's
Yeah.
doing it right now.
Yeah, but he's spelling John wrong.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. But no, that sort of behaviour, that sort of written word, that is a bugbear.
Yeah.
That is a bugbear for me as well. But
And
you're really hung up on the talking.
I tell you what,
You're
also
really
I'm
hung up on it.
Yeah, but you know what else? The talking really does my nut in. It does my nut in because I like to go to sleep listening to things,
Me too.
and I can't listen to those kind of things because they make me angry. So I'd be lying
They
there.
make him see red.
I'd be lying there and put something on, and it would start. They would start talking in this monotone diatribe of shite, right? And I'd have
Hello
to.
there, John. My name is Ben. How are
yeah.
you doing?
And I have to go and find something else to listen to. Roger's
It makes him so mad.
bar.
If he'd been exposed to gamma radiation, we would all be in trouble.
I'd go green.
We would all be in trouble. Thankfully, he's not been exposed to gamma radiation, and therefore he's just angry in his own little space.
Yeah, but I'm not really that angry generally. Am I?
Really?
I don't think I was.
Really?
I was wondering if I should go out on Saturday down to the local town hall and see what's happening.
But
But if
speaking
we're-
of this,
Yeah, I know. Right.
let's speak about that for a minute, because obviously this coming Saturday, and this is going to lean into what I kind of want to deep dive into, because this coming Saturday is being absolutely, I think, artificially ramped up on social media, on Twitter/X especially, and people are getting riled up. People are going to go down. I mean, I saw from Talk TV today, I saw an article from Talk TV today that said, should Tommy Robinson be allowed to protest? And I thought to myself, well, first of all, why are you even asking that? And second of all, you're pushing a narrative. And that narrative, we've seen far right trending.
What's
today.
Tommy Robinson protesting about?
He's cool. He put out a video on Twitter yesterday calling for what he called patriots to meet him at Embankment Station in London at 10 a.m. I think, or 9 a.m. on Saturday, the 11th of November, to go and, I guess, protect the cenotaph. Peacefully, he says, peacefully march. He says, no drinking and be respectful. That's what he said in his video.
Mm-hmm.
But that is being pushed now as a far right, essential hate march going through London to oppose the poor oppressed Muslim. That is basically the narrative that has been painted, and that's what we're seeing. And people are not going to like me for saying what I'm about to say, but Tommy Robinson, regardless of what you think of him, regardless of if you like him, regardless if you think he means well, he is bad for you, because he is. It's like what I say about David Icke and David Icke showing up at freedom protests. He's a boogeyman. He's a boogeyman for the mainstream media. And the second he involves himself in something, the mainstream media latch onto it and say, oh, look, far-right thug Tommy Robinson is gathering a group of far-right thugs to go march. That's what they do. And the problem that we have, before people try and have a go at me, is the vast majority of people listen to the mainstream media. The vast majority of people. We are in the minority. And so when you put someone forward like that, when you allow somebody like that, even if you like him, even if you like everything he says, even if you think he means well, if you allow him to be at the fore, you are already screwed. You are tainted because you're painted into the same box that they will paint him as, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Okay, but the problem then is, why should he be treated any different from any other individual?
I didn't say he should be.
No, I'm just saying, but what you were saying was if you allow him to march.
I didn't say if you allow him to march. I said if you allow him to lead you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There's a big difference. There's a big difference.
Okay.
Because I would say he's perfectly entitled to march peacefully wherever he wants for whatever he wants. But he comes with this taint that the mainstream media are able to paint, and they do it every single bloody time. Every single time.
Right. So the problem I see this weekend is that one, why are these people even marching in this country? What's it got to do with us?
Once again, the stated aim is that they want our government to call on the world to basically demand Israel have a ceasefire.
Well, yeah, but Israel's not listening to us. They're not listening to anyone.
No.
So there's no point. I mean, do you think Israel's going to change their ways because, a few folk have gone out in London and said, "Oh, stop this! Stop it right now."
No, they're not.
They're not, are they?
They're not.
And people are misguided if you think they are, because let me just point out how many marches we've had in the last 3 years and how many things actually changed. Yeah? Just think about it.
Look
how many
how much I've aged.
How many marches did you have? And how many things changed? Okay?
Now,
I would say the performance ratio isn't great for marches.
No. And do you know what? I just want to quickly address the chat right now, because if you think there's any value in this, or if you are enjoying this, and you think what we're saying needs to be heard by more people, then we really do need your help. And by that I mean we need you to share these shows. We need you to share them out on social media, on whatever platforms. Tell people we're here, bring them in, and just help us grow. Because like I said, unfortunately, the vast, and I mean the vast majority of people, not only in Britain, but in the Western world especially, listen to the mainstream media and take everything they say at face value. We are fighting Goliath and we are David. And we need your help. We absolutely need your help. So please share it out wherever you can, whenever you can, and let's grow this thing together. And as you will know, we're never ever telling you what to think. We're never telling you how to think. We don't demand anything of you.
New Ko-fi subscription from Harold.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much, Harold.
Thank you, Harold.
We really do appreciate it.
We do indeed.
But please, guys, that share button right now at this time is probably the single most important thing you can do, and just keep doing it. Let's grow it. Let's try and make sense of the world together.
So, and I'd just like to reiterate, if you are going out on Saturday, be prepared, okay? And when I say be prepared, I don't mean offensively, I mean defensively. Think defensively, but be prepared, Don't get yourself into bad situations, and don't leave yourself liable to be taken advantage of.
I mean, I think the best thing to do to avoid any of that is to just not go.
Yes, See, what do you think? What do you think about the Prime Minister saying he'd rather it didn't go ahead, and the Commissioner of the Met saying, well, it doesn't meet the threshold, so it will go ahead? What do you think of that?
I think that, and this is going to be an honest opinion, I think that the Met Police are scared.
Yeah,
I think
I think you're right.
I think the Met Police think that if they disallow it, it will happen anyway, and then they themselves will become targets for trying to become the oppressor. That's what I bet.
So Rishi seems to have made it quite clear that if this goes awry, then the chief of the Met is the one that's getting held responsible for it.
Well, absolutely.
I think the mayor needs to take some heat as well, because since, what is it, when did they change it? 2006 or something? But since they changed the way that London's run, the mayor has too much power. There's no need for a mayor in London. What do you need a mayor for?
I completely agree. Yeah. I just want to address the chat one more time, because Beats and Tapes, you come here. You come here because we will be live Saturday morning looking into what's going on from here.
We'll tell you what's going on, mate. We'll show you.
We'll have other people's streams up. We'll obviously credit them, tell you who they are. We're going to be watching in, and we're going to be commentating on the situation as it unfolds. So feel free to come to us, and we will give you that information. But still, people, I say, personally speaking, it seems like a trap. The narrative is strong. It's being pushed. It's being riled up. Or essentially like the bloody fight of the century.
Yeah, and people are getting riled up themselves. I mean, that was on a Twitter space earlier, and somebody was talking about carrying things, and you know what I mean. It's not good. And this isn't the kind of thing that you want to get involved in. And I understand that people feel strongly about this.
Yeah, me too.
But
me too.
I think you've got to look after yourself first.
Well, first of all, I feel strongly about it. I feel strongly about it.
So do I. I think this is a bit of a test.
Well, first of all, I agree with you. And second of all, I was this close to going. I mean, I was even on the phone to some people in the chat tonight asking if they were available to essentially be my security. But I have nobody that could, look out for me. Remember, I will be on a mobility scooter, as people will know from beforehand. And so I just don't think my safety can be guaranteed. So I will sit it out. It's as simple as that. So we will do it the way we are doing it. But seriously, guys, I don't know. Because let's look at the...
Well, actually, let's address the chat here, because Rob says confused. Who's doing what? Never take sides. Well, in my view, right? In my view, this isn't a government or media-driven conflict here.
Right.
This is driven by the people who feel themselves are being aggressed against in Israel, right? I think that's who's driving it.
Okay.
Right? And I think the problem is you have two religions here that have been facing off against each other for thousands of years.
Absolutely.
And that is where it's coming from. And I really don't think this is a media or government orchestrated thing. I think this is seriously going to go awry because some of these people have too much passion and too little willpower.
And once again, on both sides, this is on both sides.
Yeah.
But going back to the point that you made earlier in the show, John, it's not our fight.
It's not our fight. And
it's not our
that's
fight.
What Rob's saying as well. It's not our fight. And people that think it is our fight aren't really thinking properly in this respect, because if you live here in this culture, in this country, and take advantage of it, and think this is a fight that we should be in, may I respectfully suggest that you might want to reconsider. You might want to reconsider your thinking about where you live, right? Because you're not behaving like a British citizen.
I tell you what, as a centre-left person, I struggle to disagree with you. I really do. I struggle to disagree with you. And I know that realistically, my, I guess, political compass or position on the political compass should tell me that I should disagree with you, but I just don't know how.
Yeah, I mean,
because
people are saying that Britain's responsible for this. Britain's not responsible for this, right? Because this didn't start in the 1900s. This didn't start after World War One. This has never ended. That's the problem. This started when the Egyptians threw the Jews out of Egypt. That's when it started, when they put them to the desert. And it might even have started before that. This is a long-running thing. Yeah, okay, we maybe got involved in it. We put our nib in when we shouldn't have. But that doesn't mean that we're responsible for what's happening now.
I'm not responsible for it.
And
I'm sorry if that sounds harsh or hard to anybody, but I'm not.
The people that are responsible for what's going on right now live exactly where the problem is.
And the people who began the problem are all dead.
Yeah.
Because it's been going on for so damn long. And it's so damn complicated. And as always, there's right and wrong on both sides.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because these things are never cut and dry. They're never cut and dry.
They never are. Anyway, what about Carol Vorderman? Is she going?
Carol Vorderman has today been sacked by BBC Wales or BBC Radio Wales.
Shocker, really?
Carol Vorderman has breached their new social media impartiality rules because she always tweets about how bad the Tories are and never provides any balance.
Well, what about Black Gary?
Well, see, I asked you this earlier on, didn't I?
Yeah.
So is Black Gary next, or is he just too valuable to the company?
I don't know. I just don't know. He's too valuable to us. He needs to remain where he is.
Yeah, please, BBC, don't fire Black Gary. We like our gaffs of the week, although I do need to restring the guitar.
Oh, dear.
Well, yeah, last time I did a gaff of the week on the acoustic, I lost a string.
Oh, dear. Yeah,
but he does get, he does seem to get this pass. Black Gary does seem to get this pass that nobody else gets at that corporation. And it might be because he's not technically employed by them. He's a self-employed contractor. So he may get his way around those impartiality rules by being that. I don't know.
Maybe he's got a clause on it saying you can't get me.
You can't get me on Black Gary.
I can say what I like.
I'm Black Gary, and if I'm going to give a gaff of the week, I'm going to give a gaff of the week.
So, should I read this story out that I found in a legal journal?
I think you should, but yeah. I want to save it because
you want me to save it till Friday?
No, I want to save it to the end.
Oh, right, okay.
Because I want to know. And I'm going to go to Wikipedia for this, and I know it's not the bastion of information. But I want to know what far right really means.
Oh, right, okay. Go ahead.
You put me on big screen.
I'm reclining.
You're reclining?
And you're on big screen.
You're doing a me?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So we see this term bandied about a lot. Far right. In fact, it's freaking trending on Twitter as we speak. And I was called far right yesterday. I was called far right because I said to Owen Jones that weather and women's rights are not the same thing. And apparently that makes me far right. So I wondered, if that makes me far right, then what does far right mean? So we're going to go to Wikipedia and we'll deep dive and we'll look at it together, shall we? So let's begin overview. Oh, well, let's start at the very top, shall we? Far-right politics or right-wing extremism refers to a spectrum of political thought that tends to be radically conservative, ultra-nationalist, and authoritarian. I mean, I'm quite the opposite of that. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Often also including nativist tendencies. The name derives from the left-right political spectrum, with the far right considered further from centre than the standard political right. Historically, far-right politics have been used to describe the experiences of fascism, Nazism, which I contend was far left, and phalangism. Contemporary definitions. Phalangism?
What the hell is that?
Well, it's the thing. Well, phalangism was the political ideology of two political parties in Spain that were known as the Falange. Namely, first the Falange Española de las Juntas de Ofensiva Nacional Sindicalista, and afterwards the Falange Española Tradicionality y de las Juntas de Ofensiva Nacional.
Junta. Okay.
So, yeah, Spanish political party. Contemporary definitions now include neo-fascism, neo-Nazism, the third position, the alt-right, racial supremacism, and other ideologies or organizations that the left don't like. And I added that bit myself. That feature aspects of authoritarian, ultranationalist, chauvinist, xenophobic, theocratic, racist, homophobic, transphobic, or reactionary views. So basically, Wikipedia is telling you that if you are reactionary, you are far right.
Okay.
Well, I think everybody's reactionary, right?
Yeah.
So everybody must be far right.
Could be. Could be.
Could be. Still, I'm going to leave it there for a definition for now, because I think that's enough. Okay? I think that's enough to really understand. And I don't understand. Because I don't understand how, even if we use that very broad definition that we just looked at, it can be thrown around at as many people as it is and taken seriously. That's the other thing. Taken seriously. Because it is. It is taken seriously.
Do you not think, though, that many words are overused and not used appropriately?
Well, I mean, many words bandied into that definition. Racist, xenophobic, transphobic, all of those, homophobic. Yeah, absolutely.
Islamophobia.
Well, these things are, like I say, these things are severely overused, and they've lost all meaning. But it's the far right one which I'm looking at right now.
Yeah.
And the reason is that is what we are being told is marching on November the 11th in London. The far right.
Yeah.
And
when you come down to it, it will be a ragtag group of ex-servicemen and women, and other people who feel strongly connected to the deaths and the sacrifice that these people made in order to maintain this country's existence.
I agree, but I'm going to tie what I am talking about back to what I said when I was first in Big Screen, because that label has been very successfully, and whether it is right or wrong is completely irrelevant, by the way, it has been very successfully put on Tommy Robinson. And so, when Tommy Robinson says he is leading a group or he is leading a march, the media say there is a far-right group of people going too much, even if the people turning up are not far right. And still, the vast majority of people listen to, understand, or believe the mainstream. And so that's what you're contending with. That is what you're up against. And it's like, I've said it before and I'll say it again. And I'm sorry, Gareth, if you ever watch this, because I like Gareth Icke a lot, by the way. But David Icke being put up in Trafalgar Square creates the headlines. 100,000 lizard-loving David Icke fans turn out for conspiracy rally in Trafalgar Square.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say that's the truth, because it isn't, first of all.
But it's an easy win for mainstream media.
It is. And we've got to be, and you have got to be very mindful of this fact. Until the mainstream media are no longer the dominant force in how people get their information and how people think, because that's what the mainstream media do, really, isn't it? They try and control how you think. Then, unfortunately, we're going to have to be far more careful and far more smart about how we do things. And if somebody is put to the fore that is easy for the mainstream media to take down because they've done it 1,000 times before, and then they put their face on the paper, everybody goes, oh no, not that person again. We've lost.
Yeah.
We've lost.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right, mate. I think you are.
I've been big screen too many times tonight.
Yeah, you have. You've been big screen.
I know they do love looking at my thinning face, so...
Shall I tell my story now?
You can tell your story. Tell your story.
I've got something after this story that I want to talk about as well, but it won't take long. But I'll make myself big screen for once. So I'm going to tell you a little story that I found after digging around. And
the voice in the sky says this is a cracker, by the way.
It made me quite... Ben didn't know it. It made me quite funny. It made me quite...
It's good.
Yeah. So let's just start with an ex-barrister who forged a letter from Lady Hale is set to be sued for hundreds of thousands of pounds by a former client. Okay. So he was booted out of the profession in 2012 after a disciplinary tribunal found he'd brought the profession into disrepute thanks to his handling of a client's claim. The client is now suing him. The client instructed him in a damages claim against Westminster Council, which stemmed from a care hearing involving her son. Although the local authority offered £5,000 to settle the claim, the barrister told her he'd managed to win her a whopping £983,000.
Whoa, mama!
Which in fact he had not done. This then prompted the client to borrow money, to go on holiday and start looking at new houses because she's getting basically £1 million windfall. But when the windfall failed to materialise, the barrister then embarked on even more bizarre assertions to hide the truth. These included fabricating a letter from Lady Hale, now the Deputy President of the Supreme Court, expressing concern about the near £1 million payment not having been made by the council.
Mm-hmm.
He then later claimed that he had been detained by bogus police officers and taken to a meeting with Lord Phillips, then President of the Supreme Court, and offered £50,000 to drop the claim. And at one point, claimed that his brother had stolen the whole payout. His actions were described as tortuous deceit. And the barrister put them down to a nervous breakdown and subsequent depressive illness. You think? He said, "I'm very sorry. I worked very hard to become a barrister, and disbarment is a bitter thought." Since his disbarment, Mercurius has reinvented himself as a writer and commentator on all things Russia and as an editor at news site The Duran.
This has made you very happy, hasn't it, John?
It just made me fucking. How can you believe anything this guy now says? I just find it. I mean, I know I called him Shaky Tam, and I always said I find him very difficult to listen to and to, in particular, to watch. But yeah, wow. How? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, he went down some rabbit holes there, didn't he? In order
Well,
to...
yeah. Look, you know, the imaginary meeting with Lord Phillips must have been really hard on him.
I was abducted by bogus police officers and taken to Lord Phillips.
Oh, Mr. Marcurus, please just drop the case. We'll give you £50,000. Look, here's a bung.
Well, there you go. I just thought it was quite funny.
I agree. So, what you got for me? What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about Skippy, right? Well,
The bush kangaroo.
Not specifically Skippy, but yeah, maybe specifically. Let's start with Skippy. Do you remember ever watching Skippy the bush kangaroo?
Kind of.
Right, and I always thought Skippy was like quite a friendly kangaroo.
Wasn't Skippy an arsehole?
Well, I don't know. Flipper was an arsehole. I don't know about Skippy.
It was an arsehole, yeah.
Anyway, so I always thought Skippy was relatively okay, and he used to bounce around and do all that stuff. But see, when you see kangaroos now, right? Because you see them all the time on like Twitter and things like that.
Yeah.
These things are built. They're like fucking. They look like they've been working out in the gym for 10 years.
Did you
And
ever play the Tekken game?
But the thing that gets me about kangaroos now is they're always standing up, and they've got arms like Garth, and you're thinking that's not what. I mean, it looks like some sort of dog-faced werewolf with huge back legs. It's just scary-looking fuckers.
They are absolutely terrifying. And like I asked, did you ever play the Tekken game on like PlayStation?
No.
Because one of the it's a beat 'em up, right?
Yeah, right.
And one of the characters is a fucking kangaroo with boxing gloves on, and he's a vicious fucker. He's an absolute vicious. He's a machine, and they are like that in real life. You hear about boxing kangaroos.
Yeah, I didn't realise they were so well built. They're like they're massive.
They don't just have the old arms, do they? They got the pecs to go with it. They are absolutely terrifying.
Claws as long as your fingers.
You wouldn't want to piss one of those off.
No,
you really wouldn't want to piss one of those off.
You've got to give the guy like that Australian guy that went up and decked one. Don't mess with my dog, mate. Bop. And the kangaroo took it on the chin and goes like that. You know, it was like. And you can see the kangaroo going, did he just punch me? It was a bit like when Father Ted kicked the Bishop Brennan up the arse.
I tell you what. No, I certainly wouldn't mess with Skippy. I certainly wouldn't mess with the bush kangaroo. And I just want to highlight legendary wildlife madman Steve Irwin, because this is how this man ended up dead.
Yeah,
because
I know. Yeah,
he would just mess with these animals, and it was finally it was a stingray that got him, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Stingray.
It's when they go for crocodiles, though. That's the one that gets me. Like, the guy goes, I mean, did you see the bird the other day? This bird just, and when I say a bird, I mean a girl. Okay. She jumps off this, or she just wades into this pond after this crocodile and just dives into it, jumps on it, and comes up with this crocodile. The crocodile's bigger than she is. And I'm thinking, that's
It
nuts.
isn't Bindi Irwin, is it?
No, I don't think it was. But I'm like, what the hell? I mean,
But I tell you,
see, when you go for a job, right, and they turn around and go, we want you to just dive into a crocodile-infested pond and bring one of them out. Would you not go? Hold on.
I'm okay, thanks. I'll go
not-
see they got a checkout job at Tesco.
Yeah, I'm not signing up for this shit.
Nope. I'll go and scan people's washing up liquid,
Yeah,
thanks. I'm okay.
I'll even stock shelves.
Oh, dear. I mean, he'd go up to him. Oh, look at this rare and majestic character. It could kill you in one bite. Oh, look how beautiful. Let's put my fucking head in his mouth. Well, come on. What the fuck? You're gonna get yourself killed, Steve.
Yeah.
And he did.
Well, yeah, he did, and that was quite sad.
It was sad. I mean, my God, South Park being South Park, absolutely hammed on it almost instantly. So there was an episode of South Park.
It was coming, though. It was coming.
There's an episode of South Park just after Steve Irwin died. And Satan, as in Satan, was having a super sweet 16 Halloween party.
Mm-hmm.
And people are obviously in costume, and a guy walks up to him dressed as Steve Irwin with a fucking stingray hanging out of his heart. Right? And he goes, oh man, Satan goes, this is a bit too soon. This is a bit disrespectful. And he goes, no, Satan, it's actually me, Steve Irwin. Right? And he goes, on that note, you're not on the list. And kicks him out.
Oh, good grief.
I mean, those boys, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, do not shy away from taking the piss. I will give them the credit where it's due.
Yeah.
And, you know, the hard things to take the piss out of are the best things to take the piss out of. They always will be.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But, you're right, John. You're right. These animals are terrifying. We shouldn't mess with them.
And then then you find out. I mean, their smaller brother, who I used to think were cute as well, probably aren't. Are probably vicious little buggers as well, right? There's wild troops of wallabies in the UK.
Yeah, right. We got wallabies. Should we go hunt some down, John?
No, I'm not going wallaby chasing.
We're a big sign on the fucking van, Chasing Dissent Wallaby Hunters.
You can go out with your lasso on your mobile, on your
my mobility scooter.
Your mobility scooter.
With my Steve Irwin hat. I've got to lasso myself a wallaby.
I'm gonna
get myself a wallaby.
On your luck, you'd end up with a Black Panther or something.
Oh, I put out a short today on the other channel, which you should definitely go and watch. It's called White Panther.
Oh, right, okay. I'll do that.
Go and watch it. It's on the other channel.
Right, so Militant Mushroom says these villages get camels. Do you wash your hair in their urine?
Before you start addressing the chat,
Sorry.
let's do this properly.
Okay.
Because it is chat time. I'm going to go to fan funding in the list.
Yep.
And I'm going to go to Shalini, who graciously donated us £10 through Super Chat. Who
Shalini.
says, where's Chaz's girlfriend?
It's sitting on his leg. Look. The little duck.
Ah. I've still got my duck. And speaking of my duck,
I'll tell you what. I'll get him a friend. Maybe tomorrow. I'll bring him down. So he should be there for Friday. Because I've got the Bigfoot Teddy that's in the van. The one that holds my phone.
This duck here is from, obviously, our normally regular viewer, Amy. And I just want to shout out Amy. She'll probably, hopefully, watch this back. And she was rushed to hospital because she's not been very well. I hope she's doing better. I hope she's feeling well soon enough. And we have her back fighting fit as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And thank you for the duck.
And of course, speaking of winding, I've taken the mic. I've already taken the mic out of her.
Of course you have.
Yeah. That's what I do. I told
Rob
her she's getting a procedure tomorrow involving that snake thing that they put down your throat.
Ooh, Rob Bruce asks, when are you guys doing merch, coffee cups, and CD on it? Well, go to chasingdissent.com /shop.
The merch isn't up there just now. We do
But you're
have
not gonna
merch,
up
though.
there.
I do have merch. Well, you want a
He
coffee
does.
cup? You want a coffee cup for Christmas?
And speaking of Christmas, I'm in the early planning stages in my mind of the next Chasing Dissent meetup, which will be in London, which will be around Christmas, maybe early December, because mid to late December, many of us are busy. So I shall flesh things out. I shall run them past my subordinate here, and
I don't think
we
we're going
shall
to be
see.
enough time in December because you're going to wait
we're
for 5
saying
days.
it's only going to be a 1-day thing, and it's probably going to be on the first or second weekend.
I think January might be a better time to cheer us
You
all
do?
up.
You do?
Well, it won't be so. It won't be so intense because we've all got stuff that we need to get done for our families and things like that for Christmas. Whereas
That's true.
Whereas in January, after everything's finished, there's nothing to look forward to. So this could be something to look forward to. Or then again, it could be something to completely avoid.
Press the button.
That's true.
Indeed. Okay, January it is then. Okay, January it is. I agree. January it is. The next Chasing Dissent meetup will be in London in January. We will announce details of it as we make them up, quite frankly. So yeah. Something else I was going to say and can't really remember what it is.
Has someone got a question for us?
Yeah, has anyone in the chat got a question?
No, someone that donated.
And Harold, who became a
well, yeah. Remember, so there was Shalini, someone, and then Harold.
Yes, indeed.
I don't know
Someone
who
was
someone
Frankie,
was.
by the way.
Oh, it was Frankie.
Frankie.
Has Frankie got a question? Or have they gone?
Whilst we wait, Shalini says, yeah, January, as long as not 10 foot of snow. When do we ever get snow down this end? Harold asks, what is the top story of the week? That's
Well, define top.
Well, I think the most covered story of the week so far is this upcoming march in London.
Yeah,
I think I really do think it is. Yeah. This upcoming march in London, and what is essentially being poised to be portrayed as a race war, maybe, by the looks of it. I would say that's what it is, and I'm going to reiterate that, personally speaking, I think girls should stay away from it. Now, I'm not your keeper. It's just advice. If you want to go and make sure that you're safe. Make sure you're protected, not in certain ways, but be smart.
Be smart. Be smart.
Vaughan says most likely nothing will happen on Saturday. Well, that's the desirable outcome.
Preferred option, yep.
Yeah, that's the desirable outcome. But unfortunately, like John said, I can see people on quote unquote both sides having passionate members who cannot control themselves.
Oh, that's what I forgot to say. Nestle have discontinued Caromac.
What?
Yeah.
Is that why Cadbury have released Caramilk, which is just Caramac?
Probably.
Because they've gone, oh, we've seen something in the market here.
Yeah.
There's a space. There's a space indeed.
Yes.
I like Caramac.
If you want Caromac, it's been discontinued, so get out there.
Get out there and get your hands on the last.
A couple of quickies from the Daily Mail, or just one maybe. Lesbian speed dating event is accused of transphobia for saying
this keeps happening.
Only adult human females can attend after concern when would-be matchmaker turned up in a purple latex outfit with an erection. There you go.
So a straight male turned up to a lesbian dating event and was turned away.
Yeah.
I think that's perfectly acceptable.
There you go.
I really do. I mean, it's got to the point where, look, we cannot force female. We cannot force females who are physically attracted to other females to be attracted to males. It's not fair. It's not right. And in fact, I would say it's homophobic. I would go as far as to say it's homophobic.
I'm lost already, so I just think we should just can this conversation. So yeah, Karamak. Yeah, I agree. Actually, I'm going to address the chat. I'm going to agree with Tony. Karamak hasn't been the same since Nestle took it over Roundtree. Nestle don't make the best chocolate. They really don't.
No, they definitely don't. Galaxy do.
Although Milka's not bad.
I do like Milka. I am a Milka fan. I mean, I don't really eat sweets, but if you're going to give me chocolate, Milka is probably the way forward.
Yeah, I quite like Milka.
Yeah, no.
I really didn't taste it until we went to France, because you couldn't get much in the way of Cadbury.
It's everywhere in France, isn't it?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Milka this,
Yeah,
Milka that,
yeah.
Milka muffins. You get it all.
Yeah, you get the full bunner.
You do. It's quite expensive here, but it's quite cheap in France.
Yeah, that's...
And that's because we're importing it. Ooh, importing it.
Brexit. It's all Brexit's fault. No,
You know,
it's
I
not
keep
really.
saying-
It was still expensive before we left.
Yeah. And I'm seeing people like Gina Miller starting political parties again because oh no, Brexit's the reason we're in a cost of living crisis. No, it's bloody not.
So the latest report that came out said that breakfast hasn't harmed trade with Europe at all. In fact, trade with Europe's gone up. And it's the same with all these people, right? And you know, don't penalise us, YouTube, because what I'm saying is quoting people. You know, those people that say that they are out to depopulate the world, right? And all these things are done by them to make the population go down. So it's not working very well because the life expectancy's gone up every year. It's never taken a dip.
Life expectancy's gone up and the population keeps growing.
Yeah. So when are their plans going to come to fruition?
Well, my question is this, and I'm going to have to word it very carefully, but if we were in a mass medical event for several years, why did the population go up?
Because, yeah. Oh,
And not down.
Hold on, I'm just going to stop you right there. And with that, I'd like to thank you, one and all, for attending this.
I haven't done the bit.
Well, hurry up and do it then.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys. Oh, hold on. Frankie says I'm running a bit late. I put you on a pause for a bit.
Well, have you got a question, Frankie? Come on, hurry up. Or do you want to keep it for Friday? We'll let you in first on Friday if you want.
Yeah, you can come in first on Friday if you'd like.
Yeah, it's
But
bedtime.
whilst you decide, I shall say thank you, one and all, of course, for watching the show. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And yeah, just please, the most important thing you guys can do right now to help us give common sense to the world is share our message. Press that share button or just copy the URL, paste it in whatever social media you have and bring people over to us and over to you and to join the chat, because the chat's always lively. You guys always talk amongst yourselves, and whilst we're not addressing it so much anymore, we are seeing it, and we do see you. And yes, indeed, Vaughan, it is an extra carrots tomorrow, is it not, John?
It is indeed. I haven't got an idea what I'm going to talk about yet, but I'll think of something.
There will also be an extra carrots on Sunday.
Well, there.
That's all I'm saying.
Ooh, what are we doing?
You're not doing anything.
Why? Extra carrots.
This is my baby.
This'll crash and burn. Anyway. Anyway, with that, I'd like to thank you all for attending this episode 267 of Chasing Dissent Live with me, John, and with Ben. And remember, Don't let the kangaroos bite. It's been great for you.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet next to me. I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. I can't contain it, I'm coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer. What you say, yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma